Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. And welcome to Tuesday. I hope everyone is feeling well on this AM. I hope everybody that's under the sound of my voice is in their right mind, ready to attack the day with purpose, because that's what I'm on. If you are not, please know that, yeah, it's hard to get out of bed, and a lot of us struggle with it. I definitely don't just jump and rise and shine. Yes. Okay, December. My son is reminding me that I forgot to dump the trash on the way in. We are in our Uber this morning, getting a ride, and we forgot to dump said trash, so he just reminded me. So if you hear a little voice in the background, that's my little. But good morning, good morning, good morning, y'all. Come on in here and like this live. Come on, get some of this good energy. Now, last night I hopped on for about 20 minutes, and we talked about monitoring spirits. Everybody that's around you is not necessarily for you. Everybody that is in your circle and in your space is not necessarily for you. And one of the major ways that you can really tell is if things start to go left for you, are those people still around? Do they still support you? Are they still a listening ear or a shoulder to lean on? That's how you really have your relationships and your friendships and so on tested. I personally experienced that when I had my foot injury, and I was down for many months. I was down for almost a year, and I had some people reaching out to me, checking on me on a regular, and then I had some people that literally didn't have anything to do with me. They just kind of fell off, and then when I felt better, it was like, hey, can we go out? And I was like, yeah, no, you didn't come see about me or anything. And it wasn't just that I had a foot surgery. Yes, it was a broken foot, and that may not sound like a big deal, but I actually ended up getting an infection. I actually ended up being borderline septic. I actually ended up having a PICC line in my arm. Like, it was really serious, and I was very sick. So for people that I loved and cared about and supported to turn their back on me, it really hurt, but it taught me a valuable lesson. That's why I always refer to everybody that comes in my life as beautiful people. Why? Not because I get along with everybody, not even because I like everybody, because some people are kind of rude when they come in here. But I look at you as a beautiful person, because what's beautiful about life is the lesson behind it. Everybody can teach you something. They're going to teach you two things: either what to do or what not to do. How to move or how not to move. But you're definitely going to learn something from everybody that you encounter, whether it be a positive or not. But anyway, like I said, I was talking about monitoring spirits because a lot of stuff has come up on social media recently about, some creators here and there, and you can say what you will. I won't really give my opinion on that. But there's been, I'll say, not even just recently, over the last, I'll say, year and a half, there's been a lot of dust up with people saying that bigger creators take away from the smaller creators or bloggers. And here's the thing: the term influencer is real. If you think influencers can't be influenced, what rock are you living under? That's the whole point. And really, to be honest with you, social media is just high school all over again. You got the cool kids, they got the cool clothes, and everybody want to follow what they're doing. Why do you think that these social media apps call, the people followers? You're following what somebody's doing. Why do you think they call them subscribers? You're subscribing to what, you feel in them aligns with you. You're subscribed to some of their beliefs and thoughts and views. You're following their fashion. You're following their comedy or their post or their drama. All of that stuff, it's really high school. So it's been a big thing about, smaller influencers that are trying to make it and bigger influencers that are quote unquote stealing the ideas. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes the smaller influencers take from the bigger ones and they make something pop that maybe the bigger people couldn't. Sometimes it's vice versa, but everybody is getting some influence from somewhere. Now, there are some creators that stand out among the pack because they really take the time to curate their brand and do their own thing. I definitely have been influenced by different people on social media. Maybe it's an outfit, or maybe it's a way to clean. I know, like something simple. I watched Rochelle Chanel clean her carpet, and I was like, oh, that's really good carpet cleaner. Went out and got it, and it worked. Carpet in my apartment. Something simple like that. But as far as views, I pay attention to the conversations, and I pay attention to what people think. That's how I feel. But again, I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm 46 years old. So if I got something in my mind, I feel a certain way, it's really hard to sway me because I'm very sure of myself and my views and how I feel about things. But I do like hearing other people's opinions. But sometimes the people that you think are riding with you and they're always around you, they're really just trying to copy you. They're really just trying to get what you got. They're not trying to pour into you. And like I said, going back to a situation where somebody, and I thought, man, we're always going to be cool. Like, because we never had an argument, disagreement, whatever. And the vibe was just amazing. And then I started to notice, the more I started to glow up, this person was like low-key hating on me. Like, okay, for instance, I started at this new salon. Now I'm full service. I left a corporate salon. And when I say corporate, I mean one of those chain salons. If you know, you know. And I went to full service working for myself. So more of my coin goes into my pocket. So they asked to come check out the spot, and it was cool. And I was like, yeah, come check it out, you know. And they came and checked out the spot, and then we went and hung out afterwards. And when we went and hung out, they literally said to me, this is cool and all, but don't you think you're getting away from what your core thing is? Now, I've cut hair for about 20 years now. I've cut all types of hair. I can fade like a barber. I'm not a barber. I'm a master cosmetologist. I can do bobs, all sorts of things. So I really have curated and really worked on my brand as far as cutting hair. And now I'm switching up full service. So now I'm really branding myself. I'm not. And in doing that, more of the coin goes into my pocket. Now there's more risk involved, but I'm able to make more money how and when I want to. So I also have more control over my schedule and my life and my career. And I think that because the person I was having a conversation with, they used to be where I'm at, and now they switched over to corporate. They missed that freedom. Instead of saying that, they literally told me, don't you think you're getting, too far away from what your core thing is? And I said, in this industry, you can never stop learning. You can never stop elevating. I feel like anything that's not just your career, but something that you actually love, you're going to want to do better and better and better. Like, you can never be good enough. I won't say you can't be good enough, but you always want to elevate and do better and make your work even sharper. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the more I started to elevate, the more this person was like, nah, I don't know about that. And I was like, well, you don't have to know, because it's not your life and it's not your career. But I started noticing they were hyping me up the whole time that I was going through the situation with my old job. But then when I got into a new situation that was amazing for me, they low-key started saying little stuff, little comments that were like, you know how they call them backhanded compliments? Like, it sounds nice, but not really. Okay. For instance, I got into braiding, so now I'm doing braids. I've never done braids in my life. I have learned how to braid, and I'm trying to perfect my technique, okay? When it comes to hair, I feel like it's very few things that I cannot learn if I put my mind to it, because I really do love it. So my passion is there, and I feel like the skills will come after, right? This person said to me, because I was like, man, I'm about to start doing sew-ins and braids. And I said, because that's where some of the money is. And I said, I'm so excited about it. They literally told me, I don't think you should do that. I think you should stay in your lane. So to me, that said, oh, you just want me to stay small and stay where I'm at. Because a lot of times, that's the other way you can know if somebody's a monitoring spirit. If you start to change and elevate, you're leaving the space that they are used to you being in. That makes them very uncomfortable. Because sometimes you're surpassing them. And somebody that's a monitoring spirit, they're not going to congratulate you. They're going to hate on you. They're going to try to bring you back down to where they are because they can't stand the thought of you being on a higher plane than they are. And that even goes with your, like, for people that are going through their spiritual awakening. Some of your friends and family might not understand that. Whatever your walk is, they might not understand it because they're not there yet. So because they're not there yet, it's very uncomfortable for them. And they try to talk you out of it. They try to tell you, oh, you're not really feeling any energies. You're not tapped in. What is that? I've had family members say that to me. But then when you're going through something and I can see it on you and I can tell you exactly what's going on with you without you expressing it to me, then you look at me like, oh, she is tapped in. And it has been interesting, like growing and changing, because now that I'm very sure of myself, I don't take crap from anybody. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's a conversation. If I feel like the conversation just gives me the ick, I shut it down. I have literally said to a very respected family member, I would rather not have very calmly. At first, when I started setting these boundaries, people didn't like it. And they were combative and they were like, who you think you are? I'm somebody who wants to protect my peace. So sometimes you'll know the monitoring spirits by the signs. They don't want you to elevate because it makes them uncomfortable. When you start to elevate, they'll try to bring you back down to their level. And then if you happen to surpass them, they'll kind of gaslight you and say, oh, you think you're too good? You think you're better than me? Who you think you are? And when they say that, you look them in the eye and you say, I'm becoming the person I always wanted to be. Because I'm realizing at 46, like, all these opinions don't really matter. What people say about me don't really matter. Because on the first of the month, my rent is still due. My Georgia Power is still due. Shout out to Georgia Power. Now that's the type of sponsorship I want. Other people want other type of sponsorship. Go ahead and let that good old utility company sponsor me. Baby, I would be plugging Georgia Power everywhere. I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, people will become uncomfortable sometimes when you set boundaries and you start elevating. I feel like you start to know who's really there for you in two situations. When you start elevating, you surpass them and you move on, you transition into something else. And when you fall. Because in both situations, you can become very lonely. Sometimes, you ever heard the saying, it's lonely at the top? That's because sometimes you got to leave people behind because everybody can't go on every journey with you. That doesn't mean you don't love them. That doesn't mean you cut them off. It just means that certain situations, they can't walk with you. They can't hold your hand through. And that's okay. I have a person that is very, very close to me. As close as blood would be without her being my blood. Okay? And she said to me one day, I can't deal with you right now. I can't. I'm going through my own stuff. You're going through your stuff. I can't handle your stuff and my stuff. It's too much stuff. She said, I love you, but I got a bag back. And in that moment, I mean, I felt so broken and so alone. But I realized that sometimes we do have to fend for ourselves. You came in this world by yourself. You're going to leave by yourself. And while you have a support system while you're here, you can't always depend on that support system for everything. And are we still super close? Close as ever. Do I still love her to life? Yes, I do. But I knew in that moment that she was being honest and real with me, because not only was she protecting her peace, she was protecting mine. Because had we continued being, super close like that at that time, it wouldn't have been good for either of us. We probably would have lashed out. We probably would have got into it. And none of that energy was really directed at each other. It was the situations and the stress that was surrounding both of us. That's a real friend. That's a real sister. That's a real person that genuinely cares about you. When you are going through something and somebody can explain to you, hey, I can't do this right now. I'm praying for you, but I cannot do this right now. That doesn't mean they walked away. That means they're giving you space so that you can heal, do what you need to do, and they can do what they need to do without y'all having conflict. I'd rather somebody do that and be honest with me than just up and walk away. Those people are not for you. People that just disappear, poof, gone, those people are not for you. If I cut out down here, guys, I am super sorry. And I'm not in the comments because I am in an Uber right now. But good morning to everyone that is under the sound of my voice. Please go ahead and like the live. I appreciate y'all for being here so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, just pay attention to who you have around you. I always, and I get teased in the comments. Somebody is always saying, if she says energies, run. If she says energies, get away from her. She's weird. Energies are a real thing. Some people say vibes. Some people say energy, frequency, all that. It's a real thing. Low-key, it's just the way you feel when you're in a certain situation or around somebody. That's it. I'm not being otherworldly when I say the word energies. Like, get off of that. But I get trolled in the comments all the time. There's always, and it's always a dude that's like, if she says energies, run. Why? Because you scared of spiritual girlies? You scared of somebody that's in tune with themselves? Because you're not in tune with yourself? Or maybe they're just trolling and being funny, and that's cool too. It all helps your girl in the algorithm. Every single comment, every single like, whether it's positive or negative, it helps me get up in the algorithm. So I do appreciate your presence, beautiful people. Like I said, everybody has a purpose. That's why I call everybody beautiful. Everybody's beautiful in their own way to somebody. Might not be to me, but to somebody. But yeah, y'all pay attention. Stop buddying up and becoming so close to people before you get to know them really. I've definitely been at fault for that. Being a Sagittarius and being an empath, my heart is very open, and I have had to train myself to kind of shut myself off a little bit, and instead of looking at somebody with my heart, really look at them with just my eyes and study what is and not what the potential for it to be is. I think a lot of times we get caught up in what could be with this person instead of seeing the reality. You fall in love with the potential of what the relationship, the friendship, or familyship could be, and then you get mad when you hit in the face with reality and it's not what you thought it was. So take your time to get to know people. Find out if they are really there for you, because it's not going to be what they say, it's how they act. They can say they love you till they blue in the face, but their actions will show that. I actually respect somebody more that doesn't all the time tell me, I love you, I love you, I love you, but they show me that they love me. They show me that they appreciate me. That means more to me. You can say it till you blue in the face, but your actions have to match. So yeah, y'all, I'm going to hop off of here for a little bit. I may hop back on in a second. But I just wanted to say good morning and thank you. And I appreciate you for listening, for subscribing, for supporting the channel. We are growing and I'm excited. We're trying to get that good old monetization before, I say before September. I would love to do that. So if that means I have to go live every day and talk some Japanese, that is what it is. But I hope you do learn something. I hope you take something from it. I'm just sharing the things that I have learned so far, thus far, and passing them on to you, because I feel like I have 1,005 story times, and I have lived a very interesting life so far. And if some of the things that I have been through help to teach you a thing or two, then they definitely were not in vain. Because this channel, yeah, I want it monetized, but if I can reach somebody and help somebody out, then I've done my job. And everything else is a bonus. All right, y'all. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday on purpose, with purpose. Pay attention to everything around you. Pay attention to your interactions. Pay attention to yourself. And have an amazing day. Peace and blessings.